Now, the age group that I am specifically trying to target with this conversation is the ages between 18 and 30. It's just like a crucial and very pivotal time to have this information, and most people do not. And I think it's like a much needed conversation. So if you are interested in investing, if you're just stuck and you want to know what could I do right now at my age to set up my life where I can have financial independence, grab a pen and paper. I'm going to give you that information today. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Crystal welcomes you home. If this is your first time here, welcome home. On this channel, I discuss topics related to real estate and finances. If you've been here before, welcome back. You know I am a real estate agent here in Dallas, Texas. I am also a licensed insurance agent, and I specialize in investments, and I also specialize in financial counseling. I help people to set strategies up for themselves to create generational wealth. Today I have a really interesting topic, and I think it's like a much needed conversation. I don't even want to call this a topic. I feel better with calling this a conversation. Now, the age group that I am specifically trying to target with this conversation is the ages between 18 and 30. Of course, this information will benefit anybody who gets it, but I just think 18 to the age of 30 is just like a crucial and very pivotal time to have this information, and most people do not. If you are between those ages and or a minority, it's probably a little more difficult for you to have such information readily available to you. So if you are interested in investing, if you are interested in learning how to grow your money, how to gain compound interest, and if you're just stuck and you want to know what could I do right now at my age to set up my life where I can have future financial independence, grab a pen and paper. I'm going to dive deep into some information today. I haven't written any notes down, so I'm going to try to stay on task and not go too far or off task. However, I wanted this conversation to be authentic and natural as possible, okay? So, you know how you hear older people say, I wish I would have known then what I know now? And oftentimes that statement goes without any type of information about what they didn't know and what they know now. Well, I'm going to tell you today what they wish they would have known then that they know now. I'm going to give you that information today. First, let's talk about money. The truth is, many people are desiring money and they work for money, but they truly don't understand how money works. They never get the education or they never get the knowledge to really understand, how do I obtain money? We hear all the gurus talk about, well, you get up and you go and you work hard. We hear people say you have to manifest it. You hear people say, save your money. So you're hearing all these different concepts about what to do to get money, but not really the meat and potatoes of what is the practicality. What do I need to do step by step? Here's the first thing. If you have a savings account where you are actively saving money, you are like 3/4 of the way there. And the reason why I say that is because you got the concept. You understand that it's a necessity to put money away in order for you to have some money for a rainy day, or if you're saving for an investment, or if you're saving for a trip, or if you're saving to buy a car or a house. So you're almost there. But here's the thing about that. When you save your money in a traditional bank account, you don't get the interest that you would get if you were to park your money in a compound or interest bearing account. Meaning, there are ways where you can store your money where it can grow for you at a exponential rate. If you have your money in a bank account or your savings account, you may get what 0.01% interest rate off of that money in a year. However, if you saved your money or if you stored your money in an account, it's specified to grow, then you can gain interest on 7%, 8%, 9%, 13%, depending on how what's going on in the economy. Okay. Having said that, what does that look like? Well, we think about our policies as when we have a life insurance policy, we look at that as a death insurance policy. Money that we'll leave back to our family members should we die. And the reason we look at it like that because we have not fully been educated on what these policies are truly about. Now, this is a game changer. Yes, a life insurance policy will leave a legacy or will leave income to your loved ones should something happen to you. God forbid, you have to leave the earth. However, that same policy can also have attached to it a living benefit. Meaning, as you put money into that policy, that money grows, and eventually and over time, it grows to a substantial amount where you can borrow from yourself, making yourself a bank. So if you hear people say, I am a hard money lender. How does hard money lenders become hard money lenders? How do you have money to lend to people and you're not a bank? Well, you at 18 years old, 19, all the way to 30, and even beyond this, but I just really want to talk to the younger generation in this conversation. Like I said, all ages can benefit, but if you're 18, 19, 20, 21, you're 30, you're 27, and you're stuck, and you just don't know what you need to do financially, here's the thing. The younger you are, the easier it is to get into one of these accounts. The healthier you are, the easier it is to get into one of these accounts. Thus, where you hear the term health is wealth, right? It's harder to get into to start an account like this when you're either sick or if you're older, right? You can do it, but it's going to cost you much more money than it would if you were younger, right? So, what that looks like is, let's say you are on an average per month spending anywhere between $300 to $600. And you probably say, no, I don't spend that type of money. Look at your bank statements. Look at your receipts. Think about the shoes you bought, the food you ate, the vacations, the entertainment, the games, all the fun stuff that you do naturally. Count that up over a month. Look at your bank statement and just look at the things that you purchased over the last 3 months. And out of all those things that you write down, if it's not a bill or a necessity or something that you could not absolutely live without, you want to write that number down on a separate piece of paper. So what you're going to do is you're going to go get 3 bank statements. Now, if you got bank statements and you're depositing your money into the bank, or you get a direct deposit, or you have an ATM card, which most of us do, or should I say a debit card, then all of your transactions are tracked anyway, and they're being monitored anyway. The sad part about it is if you're not monitoring it, you're behind the ball. You need to be monitoring your spending transactions yourself, right? So for the last 3 months, I want you to look at your bank statements, and I want you to write down every expense that you had for the last 3 months that was not a necessity. Meaning, It wasn't groceries from a grocery store. It wasn't lights and gas. It wasn't gas for your car to get back and forth to work. It wasn't medication. It wasn't anything that you can live without. And it can be an addiction. It can be, I don't care if you went to the dispensary store. I don't care if you went to the liquor store. I don't care if you bought a scratch off ticket. Anything that you can physically live without, write that dollar amount on a separate sheet of paper. And once you do, add it up for the last 3 months. That is the money that you need to be utilizing in an interest bearing account so that it can gain compound interest so that you can start to become your own bank. The good thing about these different accounts is when you borrow from it, you don't have to pay it back. It's tax free. And if you decide to pay it back, you're only paying into yourself. You're giving it back to yourself. This is a game changer. I know you're like, well, how does that happen? What does this all mean? And it's a lot. This is information that I wouldn't be able to thoroughly explain to you in this one video. I am sowing a seed. In the Bible, God says, sow the seed and let me do the increasing. So today I'm sowing a seed to compel you to start looking at your spending habits. Take control over your finances because you are the only person that's going to make you a millionaire. Okay? So, all right. So we've done that. So, well, what do I do with this? Now do I see, Crystal, over the last 3 months, I've spent $3,000, $4,000, $6,000, $1,200, $600 that I really didn't have to spend. It wasn't something that it was on things that I really didn't need. All right, that's the money I want to show you how to become wealthy with. That's the money I want to show you how to become an investor with and how to become your own bank with. Okay? It's really easy, it's simple. It's just having the right people in your life connected to the right experts to show you how to appropriate your funds where your money will work for you and you're not always working for it. Remember, I first started off, I said most people work for money, but they don't know how money works. Let me give you a secret. You don't supposed to work for money. If you're working for money, you're working wrong. Money is designed to work for you. If you strategize and if you plan correctly, right? And if you know how to move that vehicle, and we're not going to call it, let's not call it money. Let's call it a vehicle. Because income, money, currency, that's exactly what it is. It's a vehicle to get you from one point to the next is what we use to trade, right? If you learn how to park your vehicle in parking spots where it will benefit instead of depreciate, it can appreciate, then you will appreciate your life. Trust me. How old do you have to be? 18 years old. 18 years or older. 18 years of age or older, you can start with these type of accounts that would put you in a financial situation where you'll be your old self will be thanking your young self, and instead of being one of those older people saying, I wish I would have known then what I know now, you would be saying, I came across this video in January of 2025 and I put out my vision board. I said I wanted a new year, new me. I was going to find ways to earn money and strategize my life. I wanted to change my life financially, and I wanted to be a boss, and I wanted to be my own bank, and I knew I could be a millionaire. And I stumbled across this YouTube channel, Crystal Welcomes You Home, and I decided to click on it and listen to it, and it changed my life. You will be surprised how many countless clients that I speak to who can't tell you what their spending is like, although they're spending on a debit card that is linked to a bank that is tracking all of their spending. And you say, okay, well, what did you spend in the last week? Well, what did you spend today? Well, over the last 3 months. Well, and then, or the one I get a lot, I'll say, how much does it cost you in gas per week to survive? That's getting back to forth to work, to the doctor, getting kids to school, da 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 da. $50. Okay, so $50 fill your car up and it lasts, and that's a entire week for you. Yeah, $50. Okay, so on the average month you're gonna get 4 weeks. Okay, a couple months you'll get five. But on the average, you're gonna get 4 weeks. So it should cost you roughly about $200 a month to keep your car full if you are putting the $50 in your car and you're just running your errands and doing the thing, going to work and taking your kids to school and just doing the necessary things that you should be doing every week in your car. Okay. Let me get three months worth of bank statements. I get 3 months worth of bank statements and I go through their statements. Guess what? They're spending six, seven, $800 at the gas station. And it's like, but it should only cost you $200. So where's the addiction? And that's when you start finding out, oh, it's a scratch job ticket. Oh, you're doing this. Oh, you're doing that. Oh, okay, you're doing this. Okay. Oh, your kids are getting snacks every day at the gas station when you need to be going to Costco's, or you need to be going to Sam's Club, or you need to be going to Kroger. Like, come on, let's talk. Let me show you how we're going to change our habits, right? Because 9 times out of 10, your wealth is in your habits. Your wealth, whether or not you have it, is connected to your habits. Remember that. Um, there's a lady who I would follow a lot on YouTube, and she was a financial strategist, and she would say, it's just expensive that's killing you guys. And she's like, it's just $5, or it's just $10, or it's just $15, or it's just, and before you know it, at the end of the year, you spent $20,000 on it's just, right? So that's step number one. Step number two, you can live free and become a bank and invest and park your money and park your vehicle in accounts where it can gain compound interest. And people just don't know this information, right? So here's the game changer. All right, come on up. Come on in the building. Come home. Crystal welcomes you home, right? All right. So many people are at home, 18 to 25 to 26 years old. Some may have just graduated from college, and you're like, okay, I want to get a home. I want to be out on my own. What does it take? I want to be a homeowner. I don't want to rent. Fine. Now, how can you live free while purchasing a home here in America, which is why I just love it here? I love it here, right? You can absolutely do that. And I'll tell you how. Many people, when they get their first dream home, they go and they buy a single family unit. They work their buns off. They pay their house off, right? But if you're young and you're at home and you're just wanting to be out on your own, the very first piece of property you want to purchase is a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex. The reason why you want to get one of the three is because if you get anything less than a 5-unit building, it is not considered commercial. Anything 5 units or more is considered commercial, right? So therefore, if you get a commercial building, you're going to be taxed at a commercial building. You're going to, everything, your loan will be engineered in a way where you're getting your loan on a commercial building. However, if you get a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, you can qualify for one of those units and it still be considered a homestead unit, meaning it will be looked at as an individual home that you're going to be living in if you decide to live in one of the units. So what does that look like? All right. You're 23 years old. You want your own place. You've been working for 2 years. You've been faithful to your job. You get direct deposit. The banks can see, yep, this person's been working. They're pretty faithful. And you say, okay, I want to get a mortgage loan. You get a mortgage loan and you decide that you want to move out or you want to move into your own home and start the purchasing process. Look into getting one of the 3 units because you can live in one of the units and rent the other ones out. Thus, you'll be able to live for free. The units that you're renting out will pay your mortgage, and while you're working hard and you're working doing whatever you do in life, you can be using that money to build your bank over here in an interest-bearing account that's gaining compound interest. And you do that for 3 to 5 years, pull your equity out of that particular home and rinse and repeat. And rinse and repeat. And if you start this at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, all the way to 30, in 15 years, you would have 3 multifamily units. Or, sorry, 369. Anywhere between 9 to 15 years, you'll own 3 multifamily units. So let's say if they're all fourplex, that means you'll have 12 doors. If you start at 20, by the time you're 30, you'll have 12 homes. Now, I listen to Robert Kiyosaki because he's one of my favorite mentors or people to follow or real estate gurus, and he always said if you want wealth, start off with multifamily units. Well, if you go with a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, those usually run about the same amount as an individual dwelling. So like you can get you can get a duplex or a triplex for 400,000, 300,000, 200,000, depending on where you go. So you want to make sure that when you're strategizing to make this happen for yourself, that you're working with a realtor who knows investment, who understands investments and know what you're trying to accomplish. Because what their goal is going to be, they're going to find you a home in a community that is highly sought after for renters. Right? Not like a rundown community, but where renters enjoy staying. Okay? Yeah, it's a pretty good community. You have good schools. They got a lot of restaurants. There's a mall not too far. Things of that nature. Where you can get quality people in your unit. Right? So this is some of the things that if you know early on and you start working on these things early in life, you'll be very, very successful. 1, look at your spending habits. Take control of your finances. Know where your money is going. Be intentional about your spending. Be intentional with your investments. Be intentional with where you park your vehicles or your currency or your income. Because this is going to make or break you. This is going to determine whether you're going to be successful and financially free or you're going to be depressed and wishing you would have known then what you know now when you become older. Also, what people don't understand is the person who is responsible for taking care of your older self is your younger self. So you, who you are today, in your youthful, young, capable body, you're responsible for taking care of yourself as a senior when you get older. One of the things that I hear people say a lot that I just don't agree with is when they tell young people you have time. No, you don't. We all are on a time on have an hourglass that's going, and we don't know how much time we have in it. So I would never tell a young person you have time. You do, however, have time to set yourself up for success, but you don't have time to waste. And I guess that's the biggest misconception is, oh, you have time. No. You can put away 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000, however much you want to put away per month into an account where in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you'll have some thousands to play with. And if you do it early enough, you're going to have millions to play with. If you start making these financial decisions to park your money in accounts where your money can grow, if you start this at an early age, you have big money. And then if you decide to have a family, you'll be leaving your family with generational wealth that will sustain your family for generations to come. These are real financial strategies that you can use to accumulate wealth. People are doing it every single day. The thing is, are you having conversations with the right people? Are you surrounding yourself with financially savvy individuals? That's what changed my life. When I started surrounding myself with people who were financial experts and who weren't afraid to talk about finances, because I mean, finances is like taboo. It wasn't until I became a real estate agent that I started to get comfortable with asking people, let me see your bank statements. Let me see your spending habits. What is your credit score looking like? It was just not a conversation, especially with growing up in my home, finances weren't discussed. It wasn't a conversation, especially I can say for many of my friends too, who are also minorities, they say a lot, we didn't talk about finances. Our parents handled everything and that was it. They didn't tell us about finances or how to spend our money or how to save or invest or any of that. It was just like, this is what you need, I'll handle it, that's it. So we didn't know what the family finances were. We didn't know what our inheritance were. We didn't know what type of money our parents were putting aside for us, And that's a dangerous thing when you have a family, right? Especially if you husband and wife and you have children, they don't know what to expect. So, or you could be a single parent, right? So let's start taking control of our finances. Let 2025 be a year where we start to say, you know what? I want to take a good look at my finances. I want to make sure that every dime that I make is working for me and that I'm building a good relationship with my finances to the point where I'm able to grow myself, grow my financial portfolio where I can become my own bank. That's the real game changer right there. So, what are some of the nuggets I want you to take away with today? I want you to know your very first house should be your investment property. Don't move out of your home, your parents' home, into your dream home. Don't move out of your parents' home and rent. Now, if you have no other choice and this is what you just have to do, I get it, but get with you a financial strategist. Find ways that you can live below your means so that you can start parking your money in accounts where you can get that compound interest so that you can begin to gain capital so that you can start to invest. These things are readily available. It's attainable and it's absolutely 100% within your reach. You just have to know what it is that you want to do. You have to be fixed and you have to open up and get the help for yourself financially, right? One of the things I want to also include is poverty is a disease. It's a generational curse, just like diabetes, high blood pressure, and things of that nature. You can inherit poverty, consciousness, and mindset from your environment, from the environment that you were raised in. And it's one of the most difficult things to overcome, especially when you're closed and you've been taught not to trust people in terms of as it relates to finances. Be okay with having those conversations. Get you a financial coach, get a financial counselor, find someone who can help you identify your spending habits and show you how you can turn your spending habits into wealth. Many people think well, I need to change my life. I need to get a better job. I need to earn more money. I need to do something different. I need to, finish school and get a better paying job so that I can start to accumulate money in order to invest or save. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Many of us are living a lifestyle that we could afford to make different decisions with how we spend and how we handle our currency that will put us in a different light. For instance, I have people as a realtor that will come to me and they're ready to buy, they're tired of renting, or landlord's getting ready to sell the home and they don't know where they're going to move next. They're tired of that, so they want to get into something more stable. And then it's like, okay, well, let's look at your portfolio. Let's see where we at. Let's look at your credit score. Let's look at your finances. Let's see what we need to do in order to get you qualified. And sometimes it's people that are having the most fun in life, traveling all over the world, who are in the most debt and don't have any money saved. Because people sacrifice their long term financial security for short term gain and short term gratification. And I see it happen every day. Like I felt compelled to do this video because this is a sickness that I primarily see within minority groups, specifically African American culture, in which I am a part of. And it's like, we got to get better. We got to get better with our spending. We got to get better and more intentional with how we handle our money and how we handle our finances. And you don't have to be that way. I don't care if that's how you were raised or this is what you're used to seeing. You can stop it with you. You can decide to do something different. You can be like, you know what? The financial poverty or the curse of poverty, it stops with me. I'm going to be the person that make the difference. I'm going to I heard something that said live live in a way that's uncomfortable for a short period of time so that you can live how you want to live for the rest of your life. Right? You're moving in that threeplex, or you moving in that duplex, or you moving in that fourplex, and it's like, okay, well, it's almost like an apartment building. Da, da, da. I don't have my own backyard, or I just want to be in a single dwelling, or I want to live in a mansion on my own. Okay, cool. Now you know that, so you got to pull that equity down, rent, and repeat. Get you another unit, and then start growing. And guess what? Before you know it, all of your properties will pay for your property that you're going to be living in and raising your family in. And so you'll be thus living without no mortgage that's coming out of your pocket since the time that you decided to become a homeowner. This is some like good information, and I would love to go deeper. I am a financial consultant. You can always reach out to me and I can schedule a time to speak with you. I'll be more than happy to help you. This is something that I enjoy doing. Just to give you a little bit more about my background, I decided to go into financial counseling after being a realtor. Just looking at people spending habits, their credit scores, people sell their homes for whatever reason, get equity, grab 100,000, $300,000, go broke in a year. Like, this was like a big thing to me to see constantly happen. And it's not just primarily in the African American culture. I'm saying among all cultures, there's so much financial illiteracy going on in the world. So I decided to just be the person to kind of help as many people as I can to just get this knowledge out here. Like I said, I wish I'm one of the ones who can honestly say I wish I would have known then what I know now. I tried, I did everything I could to learn it, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of gatekeepers in the world. You people aren't going to just give you information. They're going to sell you something, and the reason is because most people don't value things that are free. You know what I mean? They said if they pay for it, they'll value it. But here's the ticket. You have to know at some point what strategy you need to take in order to gain control over your financial health. Um, I decided to come to YouTube and share my story and share this information with you. I was one of the people, and I didn't come from like very wealthy family members, and I had to learn a lot of this stuff on my own, and it was all through trial and error. You know, I've purchased homes, I've lost homes, I've purchased them again. I've, been up, I've been down. Um, just being tossed to and fro, like not really having a firm foundation and a firm understanding on how to protect myself financially, and then not getting the financial education at school or in the home. And then now I'm an adult and I have to learn these things on my own, right? And then I'm learning them as I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you're playing basketball, you've never played before, and it's the playoffs. Get out there and play, and you got to win, right? And it wasn't like a fun journey, so that's why I feel compelled to help as many people, young people, as I can, um, to get them on a good start. And some people don't want to go to college, and if you do go to college, everyone's not going to college to be a finance major. And if you're not a finance major, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a financial education if you're going to school to be an astronaut. So I hope this information helped you. I hope it at least sparked the question in your mind: what can I do where I am right now, my current situation, to begin to make financial decisions that will put me in a space where I'm going to be thankful about the decisions that I made today, right? Um, like I said, feel free to reach out to me if you want to know more about investments, if you want to know anything about financial strategies to create wealth. Please feel free to reach out to me. I don't mind reaching out back and giving that information. This is what I do. I am located in the Dallas, Texas area. I work in all of DFW. I also am a realtor in the state of Michigan as well, which is my hometown. So if you're in Michigan, feel free to reach out to me. If you're anywhere, reach out to me. I don't mind. I'll reach back out to you, schedule a time to consult with you, and help you to get on a good path to financial freedom. There are avenues that you can take to put yourself in a lucrative situation where you will be happy that you did. But if you made it this far, thanks again for watching one of my videos and listening to me rant about finances and rant about real estate. And if you enjoy this type of content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification so that every time I drop a video, you can be notified. And yeah, welcome. Krista welcomes you home. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be safe. Bye.